Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Stan, and it's time for another edition of Interesting Ideas. And today I want to talk about CDO, that new position that is being advertised, and perhaps you could be a CDO. And what does that mean? I've oftentimes mentioned that every business needs a CHO, and that's a Chief Hospitality Officer. And I just had a conversation with a business leader about that. And he said, you know what? You are absolutely right. We have to figure out how to do that. I said, it's really quite easy. Let me show you how. CDO, perhaps a Chief Hospitality Officer, CHO. And then that wonderful line that just happened for me, You just all of a sudden see something and it strikes you and you say something and it turned out perfect. The guy was so happy and so proud, and he said, I have to remember that. And then I shared that with another friend, and he said, oh, we have to do a program about that. What do you think that could be? Okay, it's going to be CDO, and it's going to be something about boots. That's right, boots. Let's talk about that today on a Monday afternoon, and perhaps we'll come up with some ideas that'll help us do better this week. In the midst of all the challenges and the confusion that's going on. That's the agenda for this Monday. Let's see where it goes. The program starts right now. As many of you do know, and I'm still considering asking you again and again and again, even though you may not ever do a podcast, you should learn how to do one. You should learn how the radio, the media, the mass media work, because it will affect you, and you will be surprised what you will learn if all of a sudden, in terms of your personal performance, your personal marketing, your business communication, if you will actually learn a few things about how the radio, the television, and the mass media work in perhaps influencing people, maybe getting them to buy, to vote, to change, learning some of the tips, techniques, and even the traps that can be used in that would be helpful and useful to you. And so I had one gentleman who just said, I don't think I'm going to do a podcast. But you know what? I'm going to learn how. I'm going to learn how you guys in the media think and work and sometimes do your magic, and then, of course, figure out why sometimes you are a mess. And I said, all of that will be very helpful in a world in which mass media marketing is how it's done. So that might be helpful for you to know. Here we go. CDO. I saw the ad, and it was on the television, and if you are a CDO, this is what you should do. And I said, what? I turned to my wife and said, what's a CDO? And she said, I don't know. I said, I've never heard that before. And it was a trucking commercial. And so, guess what I did? I turned to Alexa and I said, Alexa, what is a CDO? 5 seconds. Here's what I found, Stan. Of course, it recognizes my voice, and it gave me a fairly unique and very good explanation. You know what CDO stands for? I thought, well, is that a Chief Design Officer? That would make sense. That's a very important role, Maybe it's chief detail officer. Someone who's in charge of doing this. As someone said, the problem with a contract is not the big print, it's the small print. Someone who is really good at checking the details of things. No, that's not what it is. It is a chief driving officer, a CDO, a chief driving officer. A truck driver, or if you're British, a lorry driver. And, I liked that. And when you think about it, particularly some of these guys and gals, or even sometimes both, a family, that's a $250,000, maybe to a $500,000 rig they have, or business, and they've got to make the payments, and they have to make it work, and they have to, you know what? Yeah. A CDO, a chief driving officer. I guess they deserve the chief and the word officer as well as anybody. And that's what it was all about. So they're advertising for, and they made a point, I found out later, that not everybody who is a truck driver gets to be a CDO. There are certain qualifications that these companies have, and certain experience that's required, and certain responsibilities. So just because you are behind the wheel, steering wheel, that you are driving a truck may not mean that you are a CDO. But the more I thought about it, you know what? That's what makes things go. Obviously we drive the roads and certainly drive the interstates, and we see truck after truck after truck, and as they will rightly claim, nothing happens for the most part until somebody moves something. Something has to be moved from here to there and everywhere all the time. So a chief driving officer, I like that a lot. I've always had respect for them, and many times I've oftentimes had a little bit of envy. So wouldn't it be nice, you've got regular hours, at least, the 8 to 10 hour thing, and you just have to pay attention and drive the truck and drive it well, and you can listen to books on audio, you can listen to your favorite music, you can have a conversation with a friend in the passenger seat or in the other co-driver's seat. That might have been a good choice. And of course, there is always, I was going to actually think about doing a podcast for truck drivers. I thought that'd be a good idea until I found out, of course, there already are podcasts for truck drivers done by, you guessed it, chief driving officers. And so I'm starting to listen to one or two of them, and you learn a lot, and oftentimes it's funny and just good entertainment as these men and women make their way across the roads of America. Chief driving officers. We should salute them. And more and more I discover that, part of my problem is that I'm one of those overeducated people who actually learned more than you had to. And I'm finding that, of course, college education is not necessarily what it's cracked up to be. In fact, it might be, for many, many people, the worst thing they could do, particularly when you're landing up $250,000 in debt. So there we go. Chief driving officer, salute them. They are saluted today. And now let me tell you a story about boots, and something I said and something I learned about boots that made someone's day. And I think we just might make it a slogan, a saying, maybe kind of a, this is true statement. This is true. We'll be right back. Remember, we are here to help you be better at your life and business. And we can do that. Our coaching services, our broadcast services, and our consulting work. If you need someone who can come in and help you figure out how to make your business and your life maybe run better, we can perhaps give you a few driving suggestions, because all of us are driving our life. That's right. All of us are in the driver's seat of our life. And we better learn how to be the chief driving officer. Maybe not of our truck, but certainly of our life, and certainly of our well-being. And maybe our business too. We'll be back. Here's what happened. I was setting out. I wasn't sitting, I was walking. I was walking at a brisk pace. It was about 6 o'clock in the morning. I had done my usual morning meditation and got the business going, and then I put on my walking shoes and I head out for my 1.5 mile brisk walk around the lake and get ready for the day. Get my exercise in, enjoy the nature, thinking, praying. It's a wonderful routine. I just love it, and I do it every day. Almost every day. Sometimes I miss if it's too rainy, but I usually make it every day. Well, the guy coming out, and he was wearing Crocs. However, he was going toward his truck, and he had a big pair of work boots on. No, he was carrying them. He was wearing these Crocs, but he was carrying his boots. And he got in, he was set up trying to get into his truck, and I just said to him, I said, you're bringing your boots with you? And he said, yep. And I said, I kind of admire you. You're in the construction business. You're building things. Yep, that's what I do. And then it just came out of me. It's men like you who make America great. You wear boots. You wear boots. You're the ones who make America great, and the ones who made America great. I just said that. It just came out. And he stopped and looked at me, and big smile broke out. He said, yeah, that's right. I'm going to remember that. I wear boots. And I'm the one who makes America great. And of course, I've got a lot of experience working with the cowboy experiences. I'm one of the producers of 4 or 5 of the Western cowboy programs. And I was sharing that with them. Hey, it's the men and women who wear boots who make the country great. And he listened and said, hey, that could be a slogan. I said, it's already taken. I'm taking it, and I'm going to give that slogan to some people who actually make America great and wear boots. But I just point that out to you, the whole idea of the people who get things done. They aren't just thinkers and analysts and marketers and messengers. They're the people who move things. They're the people who build things. They're the people who clean up things. They don't have glamorous, sexy jobs, but they wear boots. They're work boots. They're cowboy boots. They're safety boots. They're the ones who make things happen. If you're one of them, I salute you on this Monday. Take a bow. You're the ones, the great ones. They wear boots. Hey, that's some interesting ideas. Think about it. We'll finish up, and we'll be back. One of the things that we're coming up with, and it's a resurrection of an idea that I've been working on for 30 years, that we tried 4 years ago. COVID kind of killed it, but it's coming back. And this is you'll be surprised to find out that, hey, one of the great guys started out as a guy who probably wore boots. Yeah, because he was in the construction business. His name was Jesus, and he was probably a handyman, guy who had to make sure, probably had to put something else on besides those sandals because he had to protect his feet and all the work he did. And I've oftentimes said that it's a good chance that even Jesus wore cowboy boots. Could have done that. Good shepherd wears cowboy boots. So it's going to be called the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience, and we're going to learn how to do life and business by simply, yes, the religious figure, all that he claimed to be, I believe, but he's also an incredible role model about how you can life and how you can business and how you can make the two work together. He knows the secret, and maybe he'll share it with us. And that program will be resurrected very shortly. Stand by and be ready for it. All the best. Take care. We'll be back. We've got lots of other things to think about this week. It's a challenging week. What's going to happen now with the situation in Iran? Who knows? What's going to happen with Trump and the trial and the election? Who knows? There's a lot of chaos and confusion and uncertainty. And so let's try and seek and find those people and those beliefs that will sustain us through it all. Bye for now.